So it's my husband and I's anniversary coming up here at the beginning of October. And what a better way than to create a Halloween themed card. So that's me just cutting a card down to size. I'm making a what is it, a 2 by 3.5 size card. I got my little score buddy and scored it there. And I'm into rounding corners lately. I'm not sure why. I usually go for an R10, but I went for an R7 today. And my paper, when I cut it, it cut itself crooked. Well, whatever, I just trimmed it down. I had already cut out my 2 ghosts. One of them is blushing, and that one's me, I guess. And then here I got my little distress oxides. I got, what did I get? This one is milled lavender, black soot, which I forget how pigmented that is. It is dark, and you don't need a lot on your brush either. But anyways, I made it work. This one is Lost Shadow. I kind of like this one. It's newer to my collection. So then after I get done with Lost Shadow, I go in with Hickory Smoke, which is also new to my collection. I just cleaned it up a little bit and used the same brush, and it's just fine. It's just a darker gray, ultimately. So what I was going for was I guess a pinky sort of vibe behind my ghosts, and then we're out in the smoke or in the ether, holding hands and saying I love you and whatnot together. And here I go in with the black soot, which when I first put it down, I was like, oh no, that's no good. It is too dark. I forgot how dark it was, like I said, but I made it work. It's okay. I don't hate it. It could be better. So then at this point, I just went for it. I just kept going. It's only paper, as Gina and Kathy always say. It's just paper. Doesn't matter. And ultimately, and then I wanted to get them placed so that they were holding hands. I did end up moving the one that you see on the left over to the right, just because I wanted to be, my ghost is the one with the blushing cheeks, so I wanted them on the right. And then here I decided, okay, it's a little too dark, and I went back in and just took my brush and just didn't blend it, but just rather put some scratches into the background with the Lost Shadow. It did brighten it up a little bit to where it was a little more foggy, which is what I was going for. And then I decided to give the ghost some texture or some faded looks. Usually I like it once I get done with that, but they just look dirty now. But oh well, you live and you learn. And then I just took some Simon Says stamp foam backings and put them on my ghost just to give them a little lift. The card ultimately is pretty simple, just because I don't have many embellishments I can put on there. And by the time I put that black soot on there and it made it super dark, I was like, kind of, we're going to keep pushing through, but it'll be all right, I guess. And I kind of lost my steam. Unfortunately, I placed these outside of camera frame, but that's okay. You saw it there for a second. See, the one on the left looks like he went mudding or something. And then here I am again putting in more of the Lost Shadow, just because I'm like, I need to brighten this thing up. And so then I also cut out the Hey Boo from the Tiny Frights Tim Holtz collection, or Stampers Anonymous book, and it just says Hey Boo, which I love. It's cute. And then I took some Studio Katia embellishments, and I put those on. I put 3 of them on. I think 5 would have been too much. 2 would have been too little, so 3 is perfect. And it just gave it a little something. It's a little something rather than just 2 ghosts on the front of a card. But anyways, yeah, that's me just placing them. I just have this random craft glue that I put in a little bottle like that. And, yeah. Opened her up. And then I have these stamps, these letter stamps, and took my Gina K ink pad. And it was funnier in my head before I started writing it down or putting it down. But I don't know. It works ultimately, but it just, like I said, was funnier in my head. You drive me batty. And when I thought of batty originally, I was like, oh, batty as in like, oh, crazy. And you drive me crazy, like I'm crazy in love with you. Here is where I was like, ooh, what did I do? And then I was like, oh, just keep going. You drive me batty. You drive me crazy. Like I'm so in love with you is what was going on in my head. But then after I got done with the word batty, I was like, oh, okay, I can't leave it just like that because then he'll think I'm saying he drives me insane, which he doesn't. But, he's my favorite person. And then I was deciding, do I want to put a period or not? And then I was like, yeah, I'll do an ellipses, I guess. And I kind of like the vibe of everything not being lined up on like a single line, and it's the letters going up and down, and you can see some of the outlines of the actual stamps. And that was me contemplating, am I going for it? And I, like I said, ultimately did. I went for it, and I love it. Love the way it came out. It's not my favorite card, but I love it. And my husband will love it as well, I'm sure. So, because it came from me. And then I was like, oh, wait, no. You drive me batty. Wait, no. You are my favorite ghoul. That's what I went with to save this. You are my favorite ghoul. You are my favorite. We say that to each other all the time. We're each other's favorite person, which hopefully everybody's spouse is their favorite person. He's my number one, I guess. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. So it's our 2-year anniversary coming up. So this is perfect. Me getting into card making, because year 2, I think, is year of paper or something. So I'm gonna give this to him, and then he can cherish it forever. And then here it is. Like I said, it came out darker than I wanted, but it's perfect in my mind. Thanks.